I'm going to show you guys how to repair a pigtail that's been broken or more likely chewed off. This will apply for pretty much all pigtails in this form, but we're working on fuel injectors today on this Ford truck, 94 F-150. I've had it parked out in a field, been starting it once a week. Well, sure enough, I went a week and a half, and then those boys got in there, chewed the wires up. So pretty frustrating. But I'm going to show you a quick fix that you can do. Ideally, you would replace the pigtail, right? A lot of stores really gouge for these things. Some places charge $25 a piece. And depending on how many that you have that are chewed up, that can be a pretty big expense. Or maybe you're just in a hurry. So, for example, today I'm kind of in a hurry. I need this truck to run. So I'm going to show you how to repair it. Let me get the camera set up in a tripod and we'll start. So the first thing we've got to do is disassemble the pigtail here. And they sell little kits, little de-pinning kits that work great for that, but you don't have to have it. You can get by with a very small flathead screwdriver. My favorite tool is a pick right here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out the front little gasket. And we'll set it to the side. Then we're going to pull out the rear gasket. The front gasket we're going to use again, but this one here at the back we're not going to reuse. Okay, so we'll set that off to the side. Then really important, you want to note the orientation of the wires. Whatever you're working on, take a picture, write it down, whatever. So you know how this plug has to go back together. So for example, I'm going to turn this one, see we have a notch at the bottom. So I'm going to turn this one around, and we're going to remember that red goes on the left. And here's our little notch. Now that we know that, we can go ahead and start disassembly. Almost all are going to have some type of pin keeper or clip keeper. This one right here. We're just going to lift up on it. Be careful because sometimes they'll shoot out. Note the orientation of your little keeper there. Then we can see the actual metal clips. What we want to do is stick your flathead screwdriver or pick down inside here, and we're going to lift up a little plastic pin that's touching those connectors. We're going to lift it up and then push the connector out. And by connector, I mean this metal piece. It's going to be really hard to show this on camera. So here we have our little metal connectors. Down inside there is a little plastic clip, kind of like that one you see right there on the tip of my hook. But there's one for each one of these. You're just going to lift it up ever so slightly, and that's what's holding this in. So here's what I like to do. Get a screwdriver or something else just to put a little bit of pressure on the connector. I'll try to do this on camera, so I'm going to put this in my mouth. I won't be able to talk. Okay, took me a few tries trying to do that with my mouth, but look down inside there and see if y'all can see. So I can pull this guy out. Note the orientation of the way this comes out, because that's going to be important. It'll only clip back in one way. Okay, I'm going to set that one to the side. Go ahead and do the other one as well. Don't put too much pressure on it before you release the clip. Okay, so we got that one started. And we'll pull it out and set it to the side as well. Maybe I can show you these little pins inside here now. Okay, so you can kind of see them. Right there is one, right there is the other. And like I said, you just push them up, and then that connector will come right out. So the next thing we're going to do is take each one of these little guys and strip back some of the insulation. Not going to do a whole lot, just a little tiny bit, because we're not going to be using full-size butt splices. I'll show you what we're going to do for connectors here in just a bit. So always twist these wires whenever you're done. All right, next up, we're going to make our butt splices. You could try to use a regular butt splice, but the problem you're going to run into is you can't stick this in far enough to reach the metal down inside there with a regular butt splice. So we're going to take some of these little tiny eyelets here. We're going to cut the ends off as close as we can get it to the base, like that. And then we're going to countersink them just a bit with a screwdriver. I'm going to stick that in there, and then I'm just going to kind of beat on it so it sinks down inside. There we go. And now we've got a half size or quarter size butt splice. Still has the metal and everything in there. So I need 4 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and make some more here in just a bit. But I want to show you the rest of this process. So what we've got to do next is we're going to go ahead and put this thing together here. I'm going to do it with an extra piece of wire, so let me get that ready. All right, here's my new wire. You can use whatever you like. Like I said, this is just kind of a quick thing. So I'm just going to use some speaker wire. You can do these wires a little bit longer if you want. And don't forget to twist them. Alright, so to help me remember, in this case, I'm going to use the copper color for the red. And I'm going to slip over the end that I cut on that side right there till it bottoms out. And then I'm going to slip this side down inside there. Of course, use whatever size butt splice, the smallest one you can use for the gauge wire that you're working with. Crimp that down, and then we're good to go. So we'll just do the same thing to the other side. Alright, now we can reassemble from the rear. I'm going to put it just like I had before with this notch on the bottom. And we'll slide these guys in. They'll both click right into place. You can install the clip keeper there. Install your gasket. And you're good to go. So that's pretty much it. Then you have what's going to work just like a store-bought pigtail. Just cut the ends back here, splice it into place in your wiring harness, just as if it was a pigtail that you bought at the store. Now, of course, this isn't going to be quite as good because we have an extra set of butt splices, and now we don't have our water seal anymore on the back. So yeah, it's not perfect, but this will definitely get you fixed up no matter what kind of connector you're trying to repair. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Thanks for watching.